And I really hope that this isn't the video that they play when something goes really bad for me. Oh, look how excited he was to go off to Florida and to never return. Gotta shake that off. Can't think that way. It's gonna be great. It's Monday morning around 9 a.m. and I'm supposed to fly to Orlando tomorrow night, Tuesday night at midnight. LAX to Orlando, arriving to Orlando Wednesday morning around 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. That is when a lot of drama is finding its way to Florida. So I'm supposed to be leaving for Florida tomorrow. But if you've seen the news, there's a little bit of a problem with getting to Florida right now.
As promised, the 11 o'clock advisory is out for Tropical Storm Ian. It is strengthening, winds now of 65 miles per hour. Future radar satellite depicts this major hurricane working northward, including what could be up to 2 feet of rain.
And all I want to do is get there because Saturday is Epcot's 40th birthday. And we know how well Magic Kingdom 50th birthday went last year. So I'm in a little bit of a pickle because if I leave LAX tomorrow night, which would be Tuesday night, that gets me into the Orlando area around Wednesday morning. Wednesday right now is looking like when the storm will be on the edge of Florida, which means high winds in the area. So it seems pretty risky that my midnight flight tomorrow out of LAX would actually get me into the Orlando area when I need to be there. A lot of time I have pretty good luck spotting stingrays in here when I do my morning dog walks. It'd be fun if I could find a stingray now to show you folks. And I've learned this, normally when you find one stingray, you find others. I guess they're a pack animal. Are stingrays animals? So as of time of filming this update, right now, Walt Disney World, Universal, I'm not going to Universal, but Orlando theme parks are still open, even though Tampa on the coast is having lots and lots of evacuation warnings. The table is already starting to get set for what's going to be happening in a few days when I'm scheduled to get to Orlando. All right, not stingrays, but a little marine life to share with you guys. I need some B-roll. I'm normally inside of Disneyland when I film, not in my neighborhood. Then there's always the question too, is it smart to go to Orlando during a hurricane? Oh, dog. There's some of the neighborhood B-roll that I was looking for. Just a dog on a surfboard. What a Monday. Does anybody work in California? But it's a question of, is it smart to go to Orlando? If the flights get canceled or you can't come in, it's probably a sign, right? That you probably shouldn't go or that it's not smart to be there. But there's one problem. I really, really want to go. I've been looking forward to getting back out east. I've fallen in love with Walt Disney World. The Magic Kingdom is great. There's a lot of old vintage Disneyland there that no longer exists on the West Coast. Animal Kingdom's cool. I like Animal Kingdom. It's like a giant Batuu with no Star Wars, but some would say there's not a lot of Star Wars in Batuu. And Hollywood Studios is probably my least favorite of the park, even though my friend Adam would tell you that it's the best park out there. But the one I'm really going for, Epcot. Oh, do I love Epcot. Epcot is so perfect. It's the designer's park. It's kind of Walt's vision, kind of the way that the world went, but going to Epcot is always so beautiful. And this is going to be its 40th anniversary. So I don't know, maybe I'm being a brat. Maybe I'm not looking at reality and thinking like, oh, I booked a trip, I want to go on the trip. But then there's also the commitment to this, right? I have all these fun videos that I want to do next week. I have this whole strategy. I have my whole week booked around making Magic Kingdom vlogs, and then also coming home and having all that footage to make even more stuff, right? So it's so much more than just a little kid getting to go see the park, even though there's a big part of that inside of me. It's like I'm committed to it mentally and creatively. And if you're a fellow creative, you know that burden of, oh, I'm making this thing. Now I have to make this thing happen because my brain will not let me pivot in any other direction. And if you know that feeling, it's like part blessing, part curse, right? Like you love creation and making things, but there's also sort of a burden that comes with it that creates this bizarro anxiety. And look, I know out of the scheme of things, this is a pretty awesome job to have, but I have fought really, really hard to have this job. And I've put in hours on both ends of the side of the day to really squeeze out as much time and opportunity as possible to keep doing this. So anything that gets in my way is like, come on, Ian. And by the way, are you keep seeing Ian from Fresh Baked when they say Hurricane Ian? Because I do. I met Ian at D23. Lovely guy. Was excited to finally get to meet him and hang out with him. Really nice guy. But I keep seeing his little face spinning off the coast of Florida. And you know, things like this always become sort of divisive, where there's a certain portion of the audience like, go do it, go cover it, we want to see it. And then there's other people like, you're just an idiot getting in the middle of everything. I think I'm in the first camp, and I think my wife is in the second camp. Going to Orlando during a hurricane or tropical storm, is it bravery or stupidity? I don't know. I'll let you decide, and I'll also let you see that outcome for yourself by subscribing to this channel. That's right. You want to subscribe today so you can see, was this a good idea or a really dumb idea? The only way you know is to subscribe and ring that bell so you can get videos all throughout the week to see how far I get, if not that far at all. Thanks for subscribing. I promise to work hard to keep you entertained. I think I'm in the first camp, and I think my wife is in the second camp. And I don't think that she's totally wrong for saying, do you really need to go do this? But I feel like I do, because I just want to see it. There's the curiosity in it, and there's also the idea that I've mentally committed to this. And then there's one other factor that's kind of awesome. I'm staying at the Contemporary Hotel. So if the park were to get shut down, if the storm was to get crazy, I theoretically have an amazing portal or view into what does it look like when the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World goes through a hurricane or a tropical storm. Like, I have that viewpoint. I just got to get there to see it and film it, which is the hard part. Hurricanes have closed Walt Disney World 6 times in its 50-year history. I need to be there for lucky number 7. When you have sculpture money, that puts you in a whole different category, right? There's big house money, there's oceanfront money, but sculpture money, that's a whole other class. This huge place was for sale forever. Like, what a very specific home or building. Like, there's such a select niche of opportunities that you would be buying a property like this for. I don't even know if it's sold. It just looks kind of empty, but I've been in this neighborhood for 10 years. And I feel like it's been for sale the entire time. I'm kind of mad at myself because there are a lot of homes where I live that you can see there's an influence from Disneyland, or the same architecture that influenced Disneyland. You don't know how psycho people are, but rich people can sometimes be psycho. This home that's being rebuilt, I should have filmed it, but I'll do it one day. They're building this new home, which I'm sure will be beautiful, but what used to sit here looked like a cottage that Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs would live in. And they even had like deer and stuff in the front yard, kind of leaning into the vibe of this home, which now is going to look like everything else. Man, I hate when I do that. I hate when I have a list of things that I want to do. I'm like, one day I'll do it, which is a really great setup of why I want to do this trip so bad, because I get committed to my projects and then I don't want to back down or turn around in this instance. I think this bad boy right here is the most expensive home I've ever seen put up for sale. It's absolutely huge, right? So the front of it is extra wide, but wait till we get around to the corner so you can see just how deep it goes. Quite a home. Yeah, Yeah, it just keeps going. That's pretty insane. There's also a bizarre rule, like the more elaborate the home, the less the chance is that you've ever seen anybody inside of it. I don't really know how it works, but it's obviously working for somebody, and that somebody isn't me. Doesn't this home look like it has a giant swell bottle built into the side of it? Right? Like, you really love your hydration when you build a giant swell bottle in the side of your house. Was it the house on the beach that made me feel successful? Was it the boat that made me feel successful? No, it was when I got the sculpture out on the deck. That's when I knew that I'd made it. Could you imagine? Here's my kind of sculpture. Now, I guess if you don't have a big front porch, you just put the sculpture up on the front of your house. Yeah. Exploding potato chips, looking real good. Hot chips. So I guess the game plan is this. If I can just get there, I should be good. And the storms and everything should pass. What's up, Lady Liberty? What do you think I should do? If I can just get there, then I should be good. But the problem is my current arrival time has me getting there. Oh, Halloween. Got a pirate skeleton and skeleton dog. Oh, look, they're still in the middle of doing this operation. Yeah, it's gonna look good. This neighborhood goes so hard for the holidays. So hard for the holidays. I should probably do a vlog and take people into that kind of magic, holiday magic. But the idea is this: if I can get there, I think I'll be in a good spot. But that also begs, can my friends get there? Because I have a bunch of friends that are all coming in from different places around the country. I have some YouTube friends that are trying to make their way back home. So what if I get there and nobody else does, and I'm there by myself during a hurricane? It's a possibility. It was on this exact bridge that me and Beth were driving across the bridge right when we first moved here. And we heard this woman who was walking on this sidewalk say to her partner, it's not so much the wealth that impresses me, it's the... And then we were out of the distance of being able to hear what she was saying out the window of the car we were riding in. I've always wondered what the second part of that sentence was. If it wasn't the wealth that impressed her, what was it? So I think the best thing that I can do for myself is go, be there. But to make it easier on myself, I have looked and I have been able to move my flights up a day, which means I will be leaving tonight at midnight, getting into the Orlando area Tuesday morning, which I think is gonna get me there before flights get canceled, airport gets shut down, and it gets like, well, now I'm at the airport and I can't even get an Uber to my hotel. So yeah, not backing down, instead going twice as hard, leaving a whole day early because I just really want to go on this trip. And there's also a part of me that's that morbid curiosity of what is it gonna be like? I mean, this is for sure gonna make it memorable and definitely change this experience. And I really hope that this isn't the video that they play when something goes really bad for me. Oh, look how excited he was to go off to Florida and to never return. Gotta shake that off. Can't think that way. It's gonna be great. I checked over at my airline's website and I was like, you know, if it's not too expensive to switch the flight, I'll do it. And in my mind, I was like, $300. Anything over $300 is just like too insane and I can't justify it. Well, I was close. It was 35.00, 35 bucks. It was only 35 bucks to move up a day. And by the way, they gave me that $35. Yeah, I got a $35 credit for leaving early. And then when I upgraded my seat, they're like, no, you can't use the credit on the flight that you just switched. So you win some, you lose some. But yeah, it wasn't that expensive, but I guess the demand to go to Orlando right now is probably pretty slim. So because my career and my entire life has been one big pivot, do something and then read the tea leaves and know that it's time to do something else, this trip too is a pivot. Everything that I was planning on covering will probably have to change. My content strategy will have to change. And what I'm thinking now is daily vlogs to take you inside of what I'm experiencing during this weird trip out to Walt Disney World. The production will be a little bit different to get things done on the quick. And I'd also hope to plan a lot of ancillary content that I would release afterwards. And who knows? Who knows how much park footage I'll get? Who knows if I'll even make it into a park? And quite honestly, who even knows if I'll make it into Florida? Right now, everything is moving incredibly fast. I'm not gonna break any laws, but as long as my plane has permission to take off and land, I'm going. I'm gonna be there. And honestly, I'm really excited. I'm excited to do something different and to experience the park in a way that I've never been able to see it before. Sure, some of the secondary things that I've bought tickets for, a little conference that they're doing the day before Epcot turns 40 and the Epcot 40th. And oh man, my first ever ride and maybe only ride ever on Cosmic Rewind. Will it make me sick? Who knows? But you have to ride them all once. You gotta ride them all once to know if it's a ride you can handle. So many things to look forward to. And the only thing not to look forward to is to cancel it, to back away and say, nah, not gonna do it. That's just not how I'm wired. Which is exactly why, to show you I'm a rebel, I'm gonna jump off the bridge right now. Or show you some more Halloween decorations. Yeah, it's not even October yet. I love that the holidays are moving up so fast on us. Oh, and check it out. Wilson Phillips mania during Halloween season just keeps spreading. So yeah, I'm gonna go. And I wanted to make today's video to take you into exactly the decision making that's been made, why I'm going, and also just to kind of give you a heads up that the next week full of content might be very, very different. I can't always guarantee that it's going to actually be filmed inside of a Disney park. I can't say what the, edit's going to be like with all the music and the trick shots and the magic that I like to put into my videos. It's just going to be a more straightforward storytelling moment because I'm living through a moment and a story that I really want to tell. And I know probably a lot of you are really curious about how all this is going to work. How's it going to go down? Will this be an epic trip to remember or a failure where I end up renting a car and driving back to California? Will my friends make it out? Will I make it out? And when I get there, will it ever be scary or weird? I mean, I've done several tornadoes growing up in Kentucky. I've done several snow blizzards living in New York. And now I've done a handful of earthquakes living in California. Hurricane is the last one to mark off my natural disaster bucket list or bingo card. I'm gonna try not to use terms like bucket list right now. So yeah, moving the flight up, leaving tonight. Going to take all of you with me, and hopefully you'll tune in and go on this crazy journey with me, because it's only made possible when you watch and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much to all my friends in club1313.com. If I don't make it back, we'll make the sheriff and Gary and Amanda and Anna, that's the royal family. We'll let them battle out who can be king or queen. I'm really loving House of Dragon. I'm really starting to keep in mind that a queen can rule too. Man, that show's good. But yeah, oh, and Andor. Andor's good too. Lord, just let me live long enough to see the conclusion of Andor. That's all I want right now. Finally, they made a Star Wars project that's good, that doesn't feel like a cartoon. And I also want to thank you for watching and subscribing to the channel. So, wish me luck. It's going to be a wild week, and I'm here for the challenge, not only as a human, but as a content creator, to try to bring you the best Hurricane Ian footage from the lens of a Disney Parks fan trying to navigate which was going to be a once in a lifetime trip with so many amazing things booked into it. Now we'll just see if we can just get there. That'll be the new bar for success. Give it to me straight, Mo. What would you do? You always have the answers. What would Mo do? Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Mo's way too conservative for my taste.